and I tell what I think and what I do and what I plan. So if there is anything in what is so openly exposed that can be considered illegal.
Well, you're committing
war crimes. What is illegal in what I do?
You're committing war crimes.
Why? So you're speaking to me now.
Yeah.
You're giving so much time in your program to a person who commits war crimes.
Yeah.
Why do you do it?
I'm holding you to account.
What's the sense?
I'm holding you to account for your war crimes. I'm telling you should stop your war crimes. I'm telling you, you have you have no right to displace millions of Palestinians and kick them out of their homes. You don't have that right.
Morgan, you hope that through your program you will enhance the chance that I will be put to trial? Is this why you give me so much time in your program?
Yeah, I think ultimately you should face a trial, yeah.
Boy, has Piers made a complete 180 on this issue. For so long, he tried to toe the line and play to both sides and always ask his panel, do you condemn, do you condemn, do you condemn? Hoping that it would all cool down before he had to make these type of steps. But now sitting with someone they call the settler godmother, he's seemingly come to his senses. He tries to set her up by letting her say whatever she wants to say, and then eventually hitting her with that line of, yeah, I do think you should be brought up on charges. You're committing war crimes. It's easy to be for or against certain things, but it's good to let people talk and explain themselves and express themselves without calling them names or attacking them for what you think they support. I will always appreciate someone just telling you what they actually are. A real enemy is way better than a fake friend. You can call someone a monster here and there. I'd much rather a person that just comes up and straight up says, Mike Wazowski, Monsters Inc., nice to meet you. Because then the conversation can flow from there in a state of honesty. After this one-on-one, Cenk Uygur will join a panel with Rabbi Shmuley, which will be completely derailed as Cenk completely loses his mind. And then Rabbi Shmuley tries to gaslight Cenk, but he doesn't really fall for it.
This is a sad day for you.
No,
just for your credibility, take it back. I'm begging you. Not for me.
Can I finish my
sentence? For your credibility, just take it back.
I'm not going to take it back.
This is a sad day for you.
I'm not going to take it back.
This is a sad day for you.
No matter how many disagreements I have with how Piers runs this channel, Piers Morgan Uncensored is one of the most interesting platforms in political debate. Let's watch some clips, and I'll give my thoughts on it afterwards.
What gives you the right?
What gives
you the right to think that you can expel millions and millions of Palestinians?
Look here, I don't know if the viewers, the people who see your program, have the patience for a historical summary. As the State of Israel was established in 1948, 3 days after the Holocaust, and 3 years after the Holocaust, and 2,000 years after the dispersion, after the Romans dispersed the Jewish nation. And then somehow there is an ingathering of the Jews in the land of Israel, the biblical land. And the biblical land that we hold to now is very tiny. We tried, according to the partition plan first, to be satisfied with a tiny, tiny piece of land where we have independence. And then when we were small, I would say tiny, and even without Jerusalem, we tried to manage a Jewish independence in the biblical state of Israel, and we were prevented from living this way. I was born before the state of Israel, so I know all this history from my own flesh and blood and my own family, and my father wounded in the War of Independence. So we tried to live in a tiny land, and the Arabs didn't let us live. So then there was the 6-Day War, and where I live now was liberated. I say liberated because it's the heart of our homeland in the 6-Day War. And since then, we tried to live peacefully, and the Arabs don't let us. So how can you try to change facts? Now, you gave me a chance to relate a tiny summary of history. If you have another way to put it, Please go ahead.
Okay,
The
I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way.
I am
put it this
a
way.
guest.
She's gonna regret asking him, that's how I see it. That's my history, the way I've been told. How do you present it? How do you see it? Piers is not really gonna share his thoughts as much as just present to her, Daniela Wise, that she's being brought up on war crimes. So asking her where does she have the right, and her going into a history lesson instead of an actual defense is pretty interesting because Piers knows what he's about to lay down next.
Let me put it this way. The UK government has sanctioned you personally in May of this year. You were described as having been involved in threatening, perpetrating, promoting and supporting acts of aggression and violence against Palestinian individuals. You have been described as the head of extremist settlers. The vast majority of the international community, including the United Kingdom, consider the settlement illegal under international law. Last year, the UN's top court, the International Court of Justice, said that Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories is against international law, and Israel should stop settlement activity in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem and end its illegal occupation of those areas and the Gaza Strip as soon as possible. So that's a bit of history for you, which is that you have been seen as the godmother of Israeli extremists who believe that you have a right to all this land, you have a right to settle where you want to, you have a right to expel all the Palestinians and to take over their land. And I say to you that actually, under international law, you do not have that right. It's actually a crime, what you're doing. And you should stop doing it. So that's my question. My question for you is, why do you continue to break the law?
I don't know. You present things in a very journalistic way, so I don't know.
Well, they're facts.
You say, do it.
Everything I just read you is a fact.
Yes. What facts? What facts?
I just read you the facts. I can read them again if you didn't hear them.
Morgan, listen to this. I never hide what I do. I am being interviewed by you and by everyday media people come to this home and to the hills where I establish communities. And I tell what I think and what I do and what I plan. So if there is anything in what is so openly exposed that can be considered illegal.
Well, you're committing war crimes.
What is illegal in what I do?
You're committing war crimes.
Why? So you are speaking to me now.
Yeah.
You're giving so much time in your program to a person who commits war crimes.
Yeah.
Why do you do it?
I'm holding you to account.
What's the sense?
I'm holding you to account for your war crimes. I'm telling you should stop your war crimes. I'm telling you, you have no right to displace millions of Palestinians and kick them out of their homes. You don't have that right.
Morgan, you hope that through your program you will enhance the chance that I will be put to trial? Is this why you give me so much time in your program?
Yeah, I think ultimately you should face a trial. Yeah, you should. You're breaking the law. Yeah, and you're inspiring other people to break the law. That's
okay. What shall I tell you? I don't think it's not on my part to cooperate with a person if you want to do what you said, if I heard you well in the beginning of this program, that you want to give a chance for different people to express their views.
Sure.
This is journalistic. This is respectable.
No, I've heard your views. I just don't agree with them. I've heard your views.
But then you said you want to
views.
You want to enhance the chance that I will be put to trial? Well, I am not sure this is journalistic. But I'm with you in your hands now until this interview is finished.
She thought she was invited on Piers Morgan's show to just spew all the stuff that she's been doing. I don't know if she thought Piers agrees with her or that because he allowed her to say what she feels, he wouldn't also disagree with her. Because even asking, so why did you give me all this time to say what I believe and what I'm doing if you think it's going to enhance me getting arrested? And he's saying, because I think you should be arrested. What do you mean? You're the worst part of that project over there. And you're encouraging other people to go along with you. This is probably going to hurt Piers Morgan's ability to bring on more war criminals to just expose themselves. But I doubt it. It's not like they're exposing anything they haven't said before, nor is it like he's going to go and arrest them personally. So this is a pretty safe environment for someone like this to just say how they feel. and give their reasoning. But still, even after all of this, Piers tries to get some type of humanity out of this lady. He can't bring himself to believe that King Von reincarnated into a little old lady. He probably thinks Tweety's grandmother just lost her marbles. But she makes it clear that, no, she's not out of her mind. She knows exactly what she's talking about.
I think that Palestinians were invented by Adrian, and that the Arabs that come to Israel today want to get for themselves the success of the Jewish state that was created here after many years of dispersion.
Okay, and Mrs. Weiss, how do you feel about the fact that over 20,000 Palestinian children have now been killed since October the 7th in Gaza?
I think that the Palestinians, as you said, I said Palestinians, the Gazans and all Arabs around should stop attacking Israel.
Right, I just asked you how you thought about 20,000 children being killed by the IDF. So how do you feel about that?
I think that the parents should be very careful before they teach the children to hate Jews and to kill Jews.
No, that wasn't my question.
I warn the
That wasn't my
Arabs.
question. Sorry to be persistent, but my question.
That was your question.
My question was, how do you feel?
Answer.
My question was, how do you feel? How do you personally feel about over 20,000 Palestinian children now being killed since October the 7th in Gaza? How do you feel about that?
I think that Arabs, Gazans, or Jordanians, or Syrians, whoever, should be very, very careful with the way they educate the children.
Yeah, that wasn't my question.
Now,
that wasn't my question.
Many of them.
Can you answer my question?
Answer. That was my answer.
So you don't care?
Your question.
You have no thoughts about these children at all?
You choose your questions, and I answer them the way I believe is right.
But just to be clear, you have nothing to say about 20,000 children being killed. Nothing at all. I have a
lot to say about everything that happened as a result of the massacre of the 7th of October.
I understand you care about Israeli children who died, as do I. But I'm able to care about both sides of children who've died. Why don't you care, seemingly, about the Palestinian children who've died? Why can't you express any sympathy or sorrow or empathy with the children who've died in Gaza? Are you able to do that?
I warn all Arabs from all sides, from all borders, warn them, stop educating children to hate Jews.
So just to be clear, I've now offered you three times.
I made myself very clear.
Oh, you've made yourself very clear.
You asked me 5 times.
I'm going to give you one last...
You asked me 7 times.
Okay, I'm going to give you one last chance to offer some empathy or sympathy or sorrow about the deaths of 20,000 children in Gaza. Are you capable of doing that?
I can tell you that had you cared, and I don't believe you that you care a tiny bit about one killed person, if you do not use the means that you have as a media person to stop educating children.
I gave you 4 chances.
Jews. Okay, you gave me 7. You gave me 7.
And you know what? You couldn't give a damn, could you?
That you are to blame more than me.
You don't care, and all you want is all the Palestinians gone. You can barely even bring yourself to say their name. All you want is to take over the West Bank and Gaza. You don't care how many die in the process. You want them all gone. You don't care, do you? That's the bottom line.
As you said, the audience will judge.
Yeah, they will. Daniela Weiss, thank you very much for coming on Uncensored. I appreciate it.
He's practically begging her to show some form of decency and humanity. And she's like, Piers, get out my face with that. You know they the ops. I don't want to make too much of a joke of what she's saying because it's actually crazy. But I'm glad we're able to hear people in their own voices express themselves. At the end of the day, that's all we can ask for. Whatever happens in the future happens. But directly after this, Cenk shares his thoughts.
Yeah. Look, you just interviewed a terrorist. And She's one of the most vicious terrorists of my lifetime. These settlers are lunatic religious fundamentalists that believe in murdering Palestinians for God. It's an absurd interpretation of any religious document. The overwhelming majority of Jews, by the way, do not agree with them. They don't think that you have to murder Palestinians for God. And so when you asked her that last question, it was actually very interesting what her answer was. You said, do you mind 20,000 children being killed? And she said, as long as they're teaching their children to hate Jews, she seemed to be justifying that we have to kill their children. So think about the absurd logic of that. Since they teach them to hate us, we murdered their children. Gee, I wonder why they hate you. Like, the fact that she can't even see that shows you how painfully stupid this terrorist is. So I'm done. You guys are way too polite to Israel. Israel is a terrorist state. I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in supporting it. I'm not interested in having them steal more Arab land. And I said to you, Piers, a long time ago, that this was never about self-defense. This was about taking Gaza. Well, I was right. I've been proven right by Netanyahu and their terrorist government. I called them terrorists, and I said that they would kill more civilians than Hamas. Are you kidding me? They've now, get a load of this fact. Hamas killed 815 civilians on October 7th. Terrible. We've all condemned it 1,000 times. Now, Israel has killed 870 Palestinians under the age of 1. They have killed more Palestinian babies than Hamas killed civilians on October 7th. And every time it's a justification. No, we talked to God. God told us to steal Arab land. God told us to murder Arab children. What kind of sick state is this? When I saw her and smiling, like you said, and smirking, now when I see a lot of these Israeli leaders, I feel like I'm looking at Germans telling us, no, it's okay. We can do this to the Jews. There's going to be no consequences. And their smugness partly, Piers, has to do with the fact that they think we own America. There's nothing you can do. We control the largest military in the history of the world. We can get them to do whatever we want because AIPAC has bought the entire U.S. government. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I mean, today Trump is talking about, you're not going to get the Epstein files. You're not going to get anything. We're occupied. We're all Palestinians now.
Clearly, the situation in Gaza and the attempted cover-up of the Epstein stuff has really awakened Cenk to fully take the gloves off, and he's attacking full on, which is important when you're on the right side of an issue, because when you're on the wrong side of an issue, it's easy to just play the respectability politics game, which is what Rabbi Shmuley is about to do. Rabbi Shmuley talks about how it's okay because we did, as the Allied forces in World War II, similar things in regards to killing civilians. So he tries to equate what we did, trying to stop the Nazis, to what's going on in Gaza today. And Cenk perfectly explains the complete differences between that time and now.
Right.
It's
the British decimated Cologne, they decimated Berlin, they decimated Hamburg, they decimated Dresden. In Dresden, they killed 30,000 in one night, etc.
Let me finish my point. You were completely wrong. You were wildly exaggerating.
I'm trying to answer but all you'll do is propagandize for a bunch of terrorists. So, first of all, Piers is absolutely right. We passed those Geneva Convention laws so that we could prevent crimes against humanity, not just what the Germans did to the Jews, the Poles, the Roma, etc., but also what the Allies did in indiscriminate carpet bombing of civilian populations. So we tried to learn from the Holocaust. We tried to learn from World War II, and we all said never again. These laws should not be broken because it leads to terrible situations. Israel then said, no, we're above the law. We get to break any law we like. And now, and in the case of the Germans, they were killing 6 million Jews. They killed 13 million overall. We were trying to stop a Holocaust. In this case, Israel is the one doing the genocide and saying, well, I mean, why are you trying to stop us from killing innocent Palestinians and taking their land? Because in that analogy, you're the Germans. So the Palestinians...
I'm the German?
Those innocent children didn't do anything, dude.
Did you call me a Nazi?
You are. If you're supporting Israel,
I'm a Nazi?
So, look, they did a Holocaust, which is...
And you called other people fundamentalists?
Current terrorist state of Israel.
You just called me a Nazi?
Hey, Rabbi, can I?
This is a sad day for you, Cenk. Cenk, this is a sad day for you.
No,
just for your credibility, take it back. I'm begging you. Not for me.
Can I finish my
sentence? For your credibility, just take it back.
I'm not going to take it back.
This is a sad day for you.
I'm not going to take it back.
This is a sad day for you.
So
this is to compare me to the SS of the Nazi. This is a sad day for you. Your credibility will never recover.
From Cenk.
I want to invite the viewer.
I'll never recover.
So Piers, may I answer? Piers,
can I finish a
now
sentence?
that I've been called a Nazi, can I respond? Piers, may I respond?
No, because I haven't finished the goddamn sentence. You think you own everything.
Go ahead,
you don't own everything, Rabbi Shmuley. You don't own the American government. You don't own the American people. By the way, when is America going to get its $300 billion back? We gave it to a bunch of criminals to murder children. Okay, you murder children with our money. Every day you take money out of my taxes. I go to work every day, and then Israel takes money out of it to murder Palestinian children. You've murdered 20,000 children already. You're the aggressors. Israel has already killed more babies than Hamas has killed civilians overall. Israel has killed a stadium full of women and children. And you are surprised that we compare you to the Germans? Omar Bartov, an Israeli-American Holocaust expert, just wrote an article in the New York Times saying that now the Israelis are doing the type of genocide that makes saying never again absurd. Absurd. Why are they doing the thing that was done to them? The world had tremendous sympathy for all Jews, and I do, all decent human beings do. But what Israel is doing is lighting that sympathy on fire and saying, we get to murder, we get to kill, and you can't call us any names. We get to call all Muslims who fight back against us terrorists. We get to attack all of our neighbors. They attacked Syria again today. We get to break all the laws. We get to commit war crimes. And I'm telling you right now, just like the Germans, you do not have the right to commit war crimes, to commit a genocide, to kill all those children, and then hide and use as a shield. Oh, everybody's an anti-Semite. You're canceled. You don't get to say it. You've ruined your credibility. No, Israel has ruined its credibility. Israel is now one of the most monstrous states I have ever seen in my lifetime. They commit endless terrorism. They rob the American people of our money to rob Palestinians of their land. That is actually a stone cold fact.
Okay.
And I was right. Israel is now occupying 75% of Gaza. It was always to steal their land.
Okay.
And by the way, it is a desecration of Jewish history and Jews overall.
Piers,
to compare with this government of Israel is doing to the history of Jews.
Okay, Cenk.
Poor Matthew, he doesn't get to say anything because everything he talks about is pretty much irrelevant. He tries to find the middle ground. And clearly, these two people are so far apart that the middle ground sounds ridiculous. But that trick that Rabbi Shmuley tried to use right there would have worked any time before 6 months ago. The way Cenk just swatted it away and Piers didn't say nothing about it just shows that we're in a completely different time of history. This entire episode was a little over an hour, so of course I had to take a lot of it out, but you pretty much got the entire meat of it. Pause. So let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And if you're still watching at this point, you might as well like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.